How y'all doing? I'm Paul Ryan, your host of the Across the Cowboys podcast. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. And to our regular listeners, welcome back. With me, as always, is my co-host, the greatest co-host in the world, Mike The Pig Crum. Mike, how are you?
Just making sure it was me still. We have
Yes, sir,
Brendan here. And Brendan's going to be taking over for me next week while I'm at Disneyland. So just making sure I'm still the greatest co-host. Never know.
Well, you know, only the greatest co-host in the world can start the show off with a burp, Mike.
Yes, that's true. Right away, like a second before it went live. It's perfectly timed.
Yes, sir. Mike, where can we find you on Twitter?
At CeeDee Piglet, guys. Nice and easy.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at _PaulRyan15. Well, after back-to-back Victory Mondays, we decided to add a third party to the podcast tonight. This gentleman needs no introduction, the newest member of the Across the Cowboys family. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Brendan Fergie Smith. Brendan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to talk with you on this great Victory Monday.
Absolutely, sir. Nothing like a Victory Monday, Brendan. Hey, Brendan, where can we find you
Paul,
on Twitter? Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Brendan. Do the Twitter thing, and then I got to ask Paul something.
Yes, sir.
You can find me at Brendan_Smith26.
Why did you have your underscore in front of Paul Ryan now? Did you switch your username?
I'm not sure. No, I didn't. I don't know. I realized that as I was saying it that I messed that up.
Oh, okay. I was like, you changed it on me and I didn't even notice? Okay, sorry. The burp threw you off. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those Mondays, Mike.
My camera just doesn't want to focus. That's fun.
We're off to a strong start tonight, guys. Well, hey, this is usually the part where we would discuss Meatless Monday, my personal favorite segment. However, Brendan had a pretty cool experience yesterday. He got to go to the game and hang out with some of Cowboys Nations and other content creators. So instead of Meatless Monday, we'll talk about Brendan's game day experience. Brendan, why don't you go ahead and share that with us, man?
I mean, it starts off hectic. We left in almost 2 hours before the game, and we still barely got there on time because of all the traffic around AT&T. It's absolutely nuts. But getting there, it's just that you can talk all your trash you want about Jerry Jones. That stadium is nothing short of phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's what you always expect from Jerry. But being there, watching Micah pop off, like which we'll talk about all the actual football game in a little bit. Being there, the fans, you'll hear like Jay Tuck talk about it all the time. They're quiet. They're quiet at times, but no one got louder than when Deuce was on the field, screaming.
Oh, I love that.
And then so we were able to find our way to get all the field passes at the end of the game. And so it took us forever to get down there because they made us run around the entire stadium, which was so much fun. But we got there. We got down to the field, walk around. Dude, that's the softest turf you'll ever be on. High school's got nothing on that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
So did you get to link up with the homies? Did you get to meet some of the Twitter peeps?
I didn't. Traffic destroyed everything, all my plans for that. I'm pissed. I want to meet Shane. I want to meet Jay Tuck. But it did have its plus because we met out of the field. We went down the home entrance. We saw Jack doing his press conference. So I got a picture of that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool.
This was a very short conversation, but I did see Brian Broaddus doing his show along the side. So I was able to say hi to him and tell him how much I respect his work. And all that.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's insane.
Very, very cool. Yeah, you sent me those pictures, and I saw the picture up close, picture of Dak, and I was like, wow, man, I guess you got to go to the press conference.
There's like no one in there, man. There's like maybe 8 people in that room with Dak. So we had to get a nice outside shot.
Oh, that's cool.
That's great. I wanted to go to Oxnard for the longest time, and it wasn't even to meet the players. It was for Brian Broaddus, Jeff Kavanaugh, all those dudes. So you being able to say what's up to Brian Broaddus, that's big time, man. I like that. I'm jealous.
One of the biggest names out there, man. Like I was like, oh, I freaked out a little bit.
Cowboys pod wise, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
No question about that. Brendan, I know you didn't get to meet with the homies, so could you kind of share your experience about your seats and everything? I mean, did you have a suite? I know you're with the company. I mean, was it fine dining, if you will?
Okay, the food was meh. Mike would not have had a good time with the food. I know that with his fancy ass. So, but no, our seats were great. We're right under. We were right on top of where it says Bob Hayes on there.
Oh, awesome.
For the Ring of Honor. So we were there.
Nice.
Perfect view of one side of the end zone. There's nothing beats that. Like, I'll watch a game any day of the week. I love talking football. Dude, being there and also a part of a blowout.
Right.
It's some of the best.
That they didn't serve that Red Baron frozen pizza in the suite.
Stop.
I would have rated that a 10 out of 10 then.
God.
Brendan, I know you're probably with some professionals, but was your group getting loud during the Cowboys?
My family that went got loud. Everyone else was quiet. Like, they're all enjoying themselves. Like, they got a little bit loud, but it was us who was mainly screaming and stuff.
I gotcha. That's cool. Mike, have you been to a game?
I went to the Cowboys Niner game, the Jesse Holly game. I was at that one.
Oh, dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, and there was a lot of stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And I was like, I think I like watching these at my house on TV. I love going to Laker games, and it's been a while since I stopped watching baseball, but baseball used to be the one I go to. I go to 10, 20 games a year, and then like 5 Laker games. But there's not as much up and down in those. The football games, everybody's always standing and sitting. There's a reason I have the massage chair here. I don't want to do all that for that many hours. I like it right here. There it is. And I could change the channel to wherever I want. I can get my food and drink on. And I'm not much of a football game go-to guy, but I would go to the Cowboys stadium. That I would do.
It's nothing short of perfect.
Yeah, it's the Coliseum. It's Rome's Coliseum in the 2020s. So you if you get a chance to go to that, you go to that.
Yes, sir.
I forgot who calls it this, but they call it the Jones Mahal. That's what some people call it.
Yeah, like the Taj Mahal. I like that.
Yes, sir. Well, Mike, I have to agree. There's nothing better than watching a game in the comfort of your own home, especially a game like yesterday where the Cowboys had a comfortable lead over the Jets the majority of the game. Were you shocked that the defense repeated their dominant performance?
No, not for me. After what they did to the Giants, I kind of expected them to be pretty good against Zach Wilson. I worried a little bit about it. The running game would get started. But as far as once we got a double-digit score lead, I thought the Jets would struggle, and then from there we would kind of handle it. So the game went about what I assumed. I said 26-9. It was 30-10. So I was pretty in that range. So that's about what I expected.
Brendan, I know you and I got to talk about preview the game last Friday, but what were your thoughts on the Cowboys' performance? I mean, were you surprised about the defense dominating again?
I'm not. Like, when you actually watch them, I wasn't, but I'm always scared. Cause I'm like, what if it's like a one-time thing? Our defense looks great, and then they somehow just collapse because somehow people get hurt, knock on wood, or they just get tired, and they'll play like that Malik Hooker whiff tackle for a touchdown happens. But, dude, there's nothing short of amazing on that defense. It's crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised either. Again, like Mike mentioned, when Zach Wilson's going to be taking the snaps, you got to feel pretty good about your defense, especially after their performance that they had in Week 1. So I know I wasn't as confident on Friday, maybe when we were talking, but my end of score prediction, would say otherwise. I believe I had us winning 30-7, so pretty close there. But yeah, man, these first 2 weeks, it's pretty exciting to see what this defense has become.
It's scary. They're dominant. They're power ranking team number 1 right now. 2 weeks in, but it is what it is. It's where we are. We're not in week 8. We're in week 2.
Yeah.
They're dominant.
You got to feel good about that. Like DMV Fanatic said, man, it's okay to be confident in the Cowboys. So we'll take those victories, right?
Yeah, that was a great interview. That was fun.
Yeah. So, Brendan, were you more impressed by Dallas's dominant defense against the Zach Wilson-led offense, or more impressed by the Cowboys' good offensive performance against the New York Jets defense?
It has to be the offense. The defense has all these all-star names, and you expect them to do what they do. Even though, like I said earlier, I was nervous. I was never going to lie. But Dak was 31 for 38. Are you kidding me? That is surgical. I was like, oh, he doesn't have over 300 yards. I don't care. He had one bad read that could have been intercepted that Sauce should have had it, but didn't happen. So guess what? We don't need to talk about it. But he was throwing lasers at the beginning of the game, and it was awesome. That play to CeeDee Lamb was crazy.
And he was one, I don't know if you want to call it a bad read or bad throw, but the play to Ferguson in the end zone where he could have had another touchdown. Man, that was
Hey, are we going to talk about who called the first touchdown on Friday? Are we going to talk about that?
At some point we are.
I also had Ferg there. I picked Ferg too.
Well, you weren't here, Mike, so you don't matter.
Oh, well, it was on Twitter, all right?
I'm kidding. Mike, you always matter. The greatest co-host in the world always matters. But, Mike, I'm curious. Same question to you. More impressed by the Dallas dominant defense or the offense yesterday?
I thought I was going to be by myself, but me and Brendan agree. Offense, I mean, you throw for over 80% completions. You were 7 for 10 on your first 10 third down conversion attempts. You converted 70% before the game got out of hand. You put 30 points on a defense that good, at minimum a top 5 defense, a team that just beat the Buffalo Bills by causing 4 turnovers and locking that offense up. They were impressive, and there were a few execution issues in the red zone away from putting up 40 on the Jets. So, and that, unlike the Giants game, there was no pick six. There was no block field goal. This was the offense. I think they said they had 4 or 5 5-minute drives, just wore the defense down. It was Mike McCarthy. I thought it'd be different, but I didn't know he was going to be this good. I keep underselling Mike McCarthy. From the beginning when we got him, I was like, oh, that's a good one. Ron Rivera would have been cool too. Guys that have been to the biggest games and have done good. Sure, Mike McCarthy's good. And then I started watching, how just his details, the way he thinks about stuff. And I'm like, this guy's a really damn good coach. And then I go on and everybody's killing him. And he's like ranked 21st in coaching. And I'm sitting there going, what separates him and Pete Carroll and homeboy in Denver, Sean Payton? They each have one Super Bowl. Each had really good quarterbacks at the time. They've won a ton of games. Like Mike McCarthy's came here and did something that we didn't do in 10 years with Garrett. And Garrett had great team. Tony Romo was a great quarterback. He had good teams. And he's been here 4 years, won 3 without COVID, and has won 12 games, 13 games, road playoff game. It's time for all of us to just give him his flowers. He's killing it.
Yeah, I have to say, Mike McCarthy really won me over after his first season, having that team, that Dakless team, all the way into playoff contention, all the way to the last game of the season. So I'm right there with you, Mike. Mike McCarthy is definitely underrated. Talking about his offense, how we called the offense yesterday was very impressive. And he brought up a good point. I mean, had the Cowboys scored maybe 1 or 2 more times in the red zone, maybe converted those into touchdowns, I think the narrative this week would be talking about how good is this Cowboys team, how good is this offense. I mean, maybe giving Dak a little bit more credit, but of course, that didn't happen, and we're still, getting praised. Our defense is getting praised, rightfully so. But yeah, it would have been nice to see maybe a couple of more touchdowns yesterday.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we will.
We'll probably fight. A fight's probably coming.
I'm ready for you, Mike. So, Mike, back to you. Is Micah already the defensive player of the year?
Correct. Yeah. Right now, I mean, there's not even somebody in his competition. He'd be unanimous. So easily.
Brendan, same question.
Oh, first off, yes. Watching him live, it's not fair. That's what I kept saying yesterday. It's not fair watching him play. His athleticness, and he'll either spin move, swim move, or just full on bulldoze somebody. He should have had a touchdown yesterday too. That's BS that he touched that guy's butt. Be called down. That's stupid. The only person, maybe TJ Watt, because he did have 3 sacks week 1.
Yeah, he did have 3 sacks week 1.
Watt,
I mean, the thing about TJ Watt is he's go right here, go get the court. He doesn't really play the run all that well. He's not asked to hike, go get the quarterback. So his sack and pressure rate numbers are great, but Dak just does. I mean, Micah Parsons just does so much more. I mean, he caused that interception to Curse with the way he was chasing the guy down. He ripped the ball out and had a forced fumble on a run play. Like he's moved around. There's so many sacks that happen just because teams are freaking out about Parsons. Like I think he's dominant this year so far.
You can game plan for him all you want, and you still can't stop him.
Apparently, Bart Scott thought he had a plan. Just run at him, and look what happened.
Yeah, Bart Scott said something about like Breece Hall getting 200 yards rushing or something.
Yeah.
Good call, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
We saw last year when he started to make Micah think, and you could take him out of games. I don't think that's going to be the case this year.
No, and it'll be fun to see. The Eagles game is going to be. Let's see what they do. They're going to run read option at him, and I hope that they just tell him every time they try to do it, destroy Jalen Hurts, because it's a free hit on a quarterback. They go, we'll take a run. If they get a big run, put Jalen Hurts on the ground every time. Hike, hit Jalen Hurts if you have the ability to. We'll work out the run play behind you. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Well, like you, gentlemen, I do think it's unanimous that Micah Parsons is already the Defensive Player of the Year. But Brendan, is Micah an MVP candidate at this point in time?
With all the quarterbacks, he's not. But like most valuable to a team, yes. We have all these stars on offense and defense. He's getting triple teamed. He's even got quad teamed because he got chipped. He's letting all these. But Osa wouldn't have half the sacks he has if Micah wasn't there. All these interceptions wouldn't have happened because Micah's chasing everybody. But I think, yes, the national media will say, no, he's just a linebacker. Who cares? But, yes, he's the most valuable person on this team. Easy.
Mike?
MVP is a QB award, so no.
I knew you were going to say that.
Should he be? Sure. But we know what it is. There's no reason for me to blow smoke up your ass. We know what it is. Right now, it's probably Tua would be the guy.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that'd probably be the guy.
In all honesty, it's Tua and then Micah Parsons, right? I mean, what quarterback is playing better than Micah Parsons is right now? Is as important as Micah Parsons to
they'll still put up a quarterback.
No, I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just saying I'm asking if that's a question to you.
Oh, he should. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, he is annihilating teams on it. He's crazy. It's just you know what it is. It's a QB. A guy ran for 2,000 yards and had to split it with a quarterback.
That's insane, dude.
It's a QB award.
I think Micah is tied with Jordan Love for like the MVP odds, I think. That's where he ranks right now, even with his dominant 2-game performance.
It's crazy. Jordan Love.
Yeah. Hey, man, he's kind of shocked me. I thought he'd have a good year, but I've been impressed by how well he's played so far.
Good player. He looks good. Looks prepared. He looked like he got enough time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Mike, there was a series during the third quarter that kind of annoyed me, not necessarily was cause for concern, but did you think it was a bad play calling by McCarthy or the Jets' good red zone defense that stopped the Cowboys' first possession in the red zone early in the third quarter?
Was this the one where they went tight end and then Rico Dowdle and then the throw to Ferguson? Okay, yeah. I don't believe it was either. I thought the play calling was fantastic. The first play was a walk-in touchdown that the tight end never turned up the field. Rico Dowd ran outside and didn't follow Hunter Lemke, or that could have been a touchdown. And then Jake Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb were both wide open, and Dak missed them. Yeah. So just sometimes you don't execute. You know what I mean? The offense didn't execute that. They had minimum 2 plays that should have been a touchdown, and they just didn't do it. And so I can't give the Jets defense credit because if the ball's on target or he sees CeeDee Lamb, it's 7 points. Or if Hendershot just goes, hey, that giant hole for a touchdown, I should go there instead of running this way into people. Then they score, and everybody's like, and then we had later on in the game, Tony Pollard runs for a touchdown that's called back by a holding on the that's not even near the play. So if you take, that's 38 points and we score 2 more touchdowns. But I got to fight Connor on Twitter about Mike McCarthy's play calling in the red zone when he should have, his play should have got him 2 more touchdowns, and he ain't even trying. Why would you try? The game was over. What am I going to give Niners the plays? Why would I do that?
Right.
I'm calling the most vanilla bullshit plays that I can because I got this game in hand. What does it matter if I win 30-10 or 38-10 or 45-10? 30-10 is fine. I'm trying not to show Niners anything. And people are like, man, you got to get your playmakers the ball. I'm like, did CeeDee Lamb not get his career high in receptions, people? What are we talking about here? Like, Mike McCarthy was cooking. He's averaging 35 points a game. We're 2-0. He's destroying. No turnovers. Like even the one that Sauce would have got, it's because Dak double clutched. And y'all know I'm a Dak guy. I'm not throwing this out like, oh, Dak missed this. Dak. Every quarterback misses 4 or 5 passes a game. It happens. So he made 3 bad throws all game and 38 attempts. Like give me that all the time. But I'm fighting people about, the red zone plays sucked. Mike McCarthy, what is he doing? And I'm like, players got to execute the plays too. Like Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb being wide open. What do you want the play caller to do in that situation other than get you 2 wide open guys to throw to? Right. What do you want the play caller to do? A run right up, Tony Pollard touchdown. The left tackle on the opposite side of the play gets called for a holding. What do you want him to do? And then once it's backed up with, I don't want him running the crazy plays that the Niners in 2 weeks are going to be like, oh, we know that one now. Bill Belichick's going to be like, okay, watch for this. Look they showed us this one. Let's be prepared for it. Nah, next week, same vanilla bullshit. Win the game 28-11. It's fine. You don't have to beat Arizona 40-5. Just run your same vanilla bullshit. Beat them. You probably got to do a little bit more to beat Belichick because he's Bill Belichick. And then unload shit on the San Francisco 49ers that they haven't seen. That's the game plan here. Thinking 3 games ahead. That's good. That's positive. Sorry.
Brendan, do you have anything to add to that?
I just feel like Mike just let all of his Twitter anger just all right.
I was battling it. We're 70-10, and people are like, man, McCarthy in that red zone calls. I'm like, can we blame the players a little bit? Does that guy have to every fail is just a bad call? It's not on the players to go, hey, the giant fucking 3-foot hole that all I had to do is turn left into. Yeah, it was frustrating. I'm like, I got great. That tight end sweep was brilliant, and Homeboy is on there going, well, why don't you give your real playmakers the ball? I don't know, maybe because you don't want to give away all those plays to the Niners when you got to use them to get to those playmakers. So you sneak a tight end sweep in that should have worked beautifully, perfect, and Hendershot effed it up. Okay, he messed it up. It happens. He's not a real runner. It's fine. Hit the pass to Ferguson in the touch. Oh, he didn't. Well, now Mike McCarthy sucks. Well, that's stupid.
Mike, get it off your chest, my friend. Get it off your chest, Mike. Okay, Brendan, do you trust MM's conservative play calling in the red zone?
I do have to agree with Mike. I don't have all that anger from Twitter, so I'm a lot more calm about this.
Frustrating.
Oh no, I know. I see you fighting out there, but it all depends on of course, the score. You don't need to force anything.
Right.
The only thing I could say, with the Hendershot thing, honestly, I don't like Hendershot. He's annoyed me since the Jags game last year, so I'm done with him. So I would guess just you can change the players that the ball's going to the same plays, and also don't use Deuce Vaughn right up the middle. He's not made for that. But other than that, no, it worked. So I can't really complain.
Hand the ball to Ferguson on that play. And
Dude,
he turns left. That's all you had to do is turn left, and you walk in for a touchdown.
If I saw him bulldoze in person, I don't know what I would have done.
Deuce Vaughn, man, when he took that hit and did that little side spin, I was worried. Did not think he was going to get back up, but dude's tough.
Highest yards per carry, Deuce Vaughn yesterday for our running backs.
Man, and CeeDee Lamb, he took a big hit, just got right back up and dusted himself off like it was nothing, dude. It was nice to see that.
Dude, on that play, Kevontae Turpin was so open, and he beat the corner right off the press, and he throws it to Lamb. Phenomenal catch. Amazing play by CeeDee. Turpin goes down the field, scores. I saw it. I was screaming at my brother, he's open. I'm pointing at my jersey, and I'm like, and I see CeeDee Lamb almost break his neck. I'm like, that didn't need to happen.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I think it's safe to say you're bothered by McCarthy's play calling in the red zone. You know, you've got a lot of questions about McCarthy, so I won't even ask you. You let your
frustrating. This guy's destroying everything. We're talking about it. Players not executing in the red zone. We're worried about his play calling. Well, he ain't even bringing anything out. Vanilla bullshit and putting up 35 points a game.
Yes, sir. All right, Mike, is CeeDee a tier 1 wide receiver after that performance against the Jets?
When I asked this question, this is a question for me, guys. And when I asked it, I was going to do it to say yes. And then I went through and I said, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Those are like my maybe a Cooper Kupp if he's ever healthy, when he's healthy. I was like, you know what? Let me see CeeDee Lamb go 8 catches, 110, 2 scores against the Niners before I vault him into the Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson category. It's real close. When I asked it, it's because I wanted to put him in there, and I said, you know what? Just like I did last week when we said, is this the best defense? And I said, you know what? I'm going to give it to the Niners still to be fair and open-minded to it. I'm going to say CeeDee Lamb's just a hair. That card that homeboy put for the first down when Cowboys played, he's that card length different from being tier 1. And I expect, and I'll say that I expect him to be tier 1 somewhere in this season. I'm going to go, okay, I can't deny it anymore.
Tyreek's got to be in your tier 1 receivers too.
Oh,
right?
yeah, he is. I don't know how that. Yeah, he lives in that tier 1. He is.
Man.
Absolutely.
Brendan, how about you? Is CeeDee a tier 1 wide receiver after the performance against the Jets?
It's a tough call because of course he is going up the ranks like that because before the Packer game last year, I thought he was a phenomenal talent. I'm like, is he gonna be the number 1 that we all need? And he goes off against the Packers, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait, we got something here. And then all these injuries, I'm like, well, shit, we got CeeDee Lamb and T.Y. Hilton, awesome. And so he said, I think he is, but the scheme isn't made for a receiver to go off for if you need 200 yards or whatever. He'll get a lot of receptions. I don't see him breaking any crazy yardage, 1,500, 600. I'm like, I see 1,300, maybe 1,400, but I don't see any crazy yards. So that'll keep him
1,400 yards. That'd be crazy to me.
Well, but you know what I mean? Those upper echelon guys. Cooper Kupp had
1,700 yards.
Yeah, didn't Cooper Kupp have 1,800 2 years ago or whatever?
Yeah. Tyreek trying to get 2,000.
Justin Jefferson already has 300 through 2 games.
Yeah.
So, but he's just there. I want to put him there because he is dominant whenever we need him, but our scheme isn't forcibly pushing him to be that.
Yeah, for me, I have to give it to him. And when you look at the performance he had last year, his first year as a wide receiver 1 for this team, and then the way he dominated yesterday, I was kind of ranking the receivers, and I'm like, okay, of course, Jamar Chase, of course, Justin Jefferson, then, of course, Tyreek Hill.
Devontae Adams?
Yeah, then I'm like, well, Devontae Adams, he's older, but yes, he's still good. Keenan Allen, older, but still good. And then I'm like, well, would I rather have Cooper Kupp or CeeDee Lamb? I think I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb just because of health. And Cooper Kupp, he's in my tier 1. So, yeah, he's moved into the top 5 for me, CeeDee Lamb has.
I have my tier 1 goes right now, Chase, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson. Cooper Kupp is still in there, assuming you turn injuries off.
Yeah.
That would be probably my top 4. I would probably have Devontae out at his age now until he, if he goes after. But, like, that's my level of tier 1 is that high. So if I'm not putting Devontae, and Devontae's like can go in and out, well, that's where I have Lamb. I have him in it. Like, I don't have Keenan Allen anywhere near my tier 1. He's a clear tier 2. Where Lamb and Devontae Adams are like, maybe they are tier 1. Are they tier 1? Is he too old? Can he do? It's like a question mark. Keenan Allen, I go tier 2 instantly. Those other 4, I'm all tier 1. Kupp's health. If you take away health, Cooper Kupp's in there like easily. So that's my. Do I question it? If they go, hey, this guy tier 1. And I go, yeah, obviously. Then that's a tier 1. Right now, I question it with Devontae Adams slightly. And just that slight makes me go, is he right now? I better, I'm going to hold up on that.
That's fair. Brendan, is it concerning at all that Gallup didn't earn many targets even without Cooks playing?
I don't think that they're trying to push the ball downfield to what Gallup's like specialty is. I didn't see a deep ball. Maybe that you count that CeeDee Lamb play where he caught that ball over that he basically mossed the corner. You can count that, I guess, for a deep play, but they didn't push it downfield. So Gallup does that. He'll do a hard slant, but Gallup's main threat is a go ball, and he's going to win. So they didn't need him.
I don't know, but Jalen Tolbert, I mean, I know he's a different type of player, but even in his first real start, he got more targets than Gallup. So, I find that kind of interesting. Mike, what about you?
I think Gallup did the exact job he was supposed to do. Hey, sorry about this, Gallup, but see that Sauce Gardner guy? You just go over here and make sure he's occupied. And we're going to throw it 13 times to CeeDee Lamb while this guy's over there making sure you don't beat him deep. We apologize. You're not going to be much in this one. Take a break this week. Hone your craft against a great cornerback. We're not giving Sauce Gardner many options to take the ball away from us. We tried him a couple of times. I think CeeDee Lamb had 36 of his 143 on Sauce Gardner. Other than that, they weren't trying to throw at him. So just going out there, and that was his job that weekend. It sucks. But once you lost Brandon Cooks and you couldn't send Brandon, because I promise you, if Brandon Cooks was out there, they're sending one at Gardner deep with his speed. But with Gallup, it's going to be more of a 50-50. Well, why even – they're not going to beat you. So why give them a 50-50 chance at a turnover? No point.
Yeah, fair. Good points by both of you guys. Mike, is it odd that even with his drop issues, Hendershot is a go-to tight end on third down?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's showing why people were like, Stevens going to make the team. Like Steven Jones said, Stevens has made this team, and I think he would have took Hendershot's spot. I just haven't seen much from Hendershot. He's blocked well. I'll give him his props on that. For him, like he hasn't blocked well like Ferguson's blocked well, but he's blocked well for what you expected of Hendershot. He's been a good blocker. Other than that, I mean, the guy, all he had to do was go like this. And there's like you're a football, because people are like, well, Hendershot's not used to that. I'm like, so you think they put him in that spot, never practiced that play, and never said like, hey, if they over pursue it here, look, you're going to cut back. It's going to be wide open there. Like, yeah, they don't throw you out trying to play one time in practice and not like they've worked on that play. He should have known to go like this. And there it is right there. Just look to your left. So like Brendan, I'm a little down on Hendershot right now.
Brendan, what about you? This is your question. What are your thoughts on Hendershot being the go-to guy on third down?
I was shocked when I was watching it live. I was like, okay, third and 7. Why is 89 out there? What are you doing? Ferguson, I think Hendershot last year was a better receiver than Jake Ferguson because he didn't do anything else other than catch the ball, which is fine. This year, Ferguson, Tony Scott. I trust Schoonmaker so much more than Hendershot. I'm surprised Schoonmaker was only getting to play on 3 tight end sets. Hendershot should be tight end 3, easy all day. It's weird. I don't trust him. I don't know.
Be prepared. Schoonmaker will be taking those. He missed almost all of camp, and so this is kind of his rev-up period. So, like, by the time New England, San Francisco starts coming in, be prepared to see a lot more Schoonmaker than Hendershot.
Hey, Schoonmaker scored.
Yeah, I was going to say, the fact that he was even out there and got a scoring opportunity and took advantage of it, they must have liked what they're seeing in practice from him. So
he'll be ramped up. He'll take Hendershot's spot. He'll be good. That'll be your 2 tight ends. Will be Ferguson and Scoot. My guess would be as soon as New England, because they're going to need that blocking and that ability to do both against New England and San Francisco. So that would be my guess, is by around that game, that's going to be where they really ramp up Schoonmaker.
Brendan, were you going to say something?
That's just Ferguson and Schoonmaker. Like, the potential of that 1-2 combo at tight end is nothing short of this. That's terrifying. Both can block, because Ferguson's got considerably better at blocking than he could last year. Schoonmaker, you don't know what you have. He has one catch for a touchdown. That's pretty nuts. So it's Hendershot, you're gone. Oh no, he stubbed his toe. He's on IR. We'll find somebody else.
To think about this offense with Dak, Pollard, Lamb, Cooks, and then Scooney, that's talk about playmaking ability. It's nice.
And that's not even talking about Deuce.
Yeah.
Dude, him in the screen game. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Excited.
All right, Mike, has Brandon Aubrey, has he completely gained your trust after 2 weeks?
I'm good for now. I don't trust kicker. I mean, to be honest with you, Brett Maher had my trust all the way through to the Washington game. And then I was like, weird game. That they had lost the holder at some point, or the long snapper. So things had changed. And up to that point, I was like, this is my guy. Re-sign him up. Big leg. Doesn't miss often. Kickoffs go out. So I'm the same way. I think he's a younger Maher when Maher was doing good. Hits the long field goals, never kicks a ball. It's not a touchback. He was 5 for 5, first rookie to do that since Dan Bailey in 2011. So, I mean, for me right now, I'm set until I'm not, because that's how a kicker goes. So now I when a kick comes up, I don't really pay attention. I'm like, Aubrey's going to make it, until he shows me that he's not going to make it. And then I'm going to be like, please don't miss this extra point.
Hey, he can miss all the extra points he wants as long as he makes the field goals. That's my personal opinion.
I'm okay with that. I would rather him make most of both. But I agree, the field goals are more important.
Brendan, how about you? Do you trust Aubrey at this point?
I do. I trust him more than Maher. For the simple fact, it took Maher 2 stints with Dallas to finally start making field goals. Even though he's a old rookie. Somehow older than Stetson Bennett. That's kind of shocking. But he's an old rookie, and he's making the kicks. He made a 55-yarder. He went 1 for 2 from 59 in the preseason. That's pretty damn good. Like, I was like, okay, cool, we made it. I walked to go get some more food during the game. I feel comfortable.
Hopefully we won't be kicking too many 59-yard field goals, but the fact that he made 1 of 2 is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you're going to have to hit a 50-plus. So it's good to know he has the leg to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Brendan, as Cowboys fans, it's only right that we nitpick about a 2-0 record. Is there anything that worries you coming out of these first 2 games?
I would say the run defense, because still that first drive against New York had me a little bit worried. Because actually, you know what? No. It's being able to stop any quarterback wanting to run. Dan Quinn is a mastermind. But somehow, just like out of the back of his mind, I guess he doesn't think about a QB spy. Zach Wilson, it's like, oh shit, breaks the pocket. He starts running. I'm like, why? Why are you allowing that? Like, put Damone Clark there. He's fast as crap. He can follow anybody. Daniel Jones was running for his life, and he was still making yards in the game previously. But that's the only thing. Offense is doing what it needs to. Defense is murdering everybody. But yeah, it's just stopping the QB.
They can run all they want as long as they don't score, right?
That's true.
Mike, how about you?
All right. Because I don't want to say this out loud and put it in the air, I'm going to put it this way. I would like Tyler Smith to be back healthy in case stuff goes wrong. So that's my one concern. The left guard backups have shown me that they're good enough to hang in most games. I would like a healthy offensive line in the playoffs.
Obviously.
I'm just worried about not having Tyler Smith to move around the line if necessary.
Fair. Go ahead, Brendan.
If no one gets what he's getting at, then you're on the wrong show, man. You're on the wrong show.
If you don't understand that reference, and I will not say it out loud, that's my only concern, especially if we don't have if our left guard's already a backup and more goes wrong, then I'm worried.
Like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Mike. For me, you kind of talked me off the ledge here after your, breakdown of why Michael Gallup maybe didn't get targeted so much. But prior to that, one of my concern was that I was worried our wide receivers not named CeeDee Lamb will face better defenses, and the other wide receivers won't be able to help Lamb. So I was concerned that maybe there wasn't that our wide receivers not named CeeDee Lamb were doing well enough.
I do worry about Gallup. I don't want to pretend like I don't. It does make me nervous that he really hasn't done anything yet, but I'm going to let him get into it still. They haven't had to do anything yet.
Yeah, I just don't want him being relegated back to that role of only getting 50-50 balls. Like they talked about slants, they talked about using him in the middle of the field. We've yet to see that. But of course, like you mentioned, I mean, in the two games that we played, we haven't really had to, go too deep into the playbook. So maybe we're saving that, like you said, for
vanilla bullshit.
Vanilla BS, yes, sir. I'm gonna name. That's what the new title of the show is gonna be. Vanilla BS, my friend.
Yep, I like it.
All right, Mike, who's your player of the game?
I'm taking Micah. I figured easy. 2 sacks, forced fumble recovery, legitimately caused an interception for Jaron Kearse by making Zach Wilson run for his damn life. So I got to give him the credit.
3 tackles for loss mixed in with all that too, dude. It's so ridiculous, bro.
He's disgusting. Anybody else can take him. It's like we have to do different people, If you want to take Micah too, yeah, you know the drill.
Yeah.
Brendan, how about you? Is Micah your guy as well?
Well, first off, he wins MVP any day of the week. But just because I want you gotta spread the wealth, you gotta spread the love around here. I'll go to the next best guy, CeeDee Lamb.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we don't have Brandon Cooks. Oh no, is he gonna get doubled? Doesn't matter. CeeDee Lamb was going above and beyond everybody, and it was awesome. 88 is finally showing up, and I'm here for it.
Speaking of that, with Mike McCarthy, he barely had to be covered by Sauce Gardner. That is a good thing, people.
Yeah.
Hey, our great guy? We want him to go up with this guy. No, we don't. Bullshit. If you can move him around and get him on matchups where you can kill him, throw Michael Gallup out there and let him. Hey, Sauce, we're going to ignore you all game. We got other ways to put up 30 points. So another thing for Mike McCarthy, a plus.
Just because he's a great player doesn't mean you have to make him beat other great players all the time.
Yeah, it'd be like putting Micah Parsons up against Trent Williams. Why would you do that? No. Match him up and get him on stuff where he wins easier. Smart. Be smart. Don't work hard. Work smart.
Mike, you mentioned the word execute earlier. We're talking about some of the red zone plays that were unsuccessful. I feel like a previous coach would have wanted CeeDee Lamb lining up against Sauce Gardner and hoping that he'd execute every play and win those matchups.
Yeah, I told Connor yesterday when we were talking about game planning, I was like, well, if Garrett was here, we'd still be handing the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott, halfback dive up the middle. So, be careful what you wish for.
Yes, sir. Well, Micah Parsons was my player of the game, but I think Dak, why not him get player of the game? You mentioned earlier, Brendan, 31 of 38, a little over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, he was downright surgical, and he was one more throw away from having a really nice game. So, yeah, I'll give it to my guy, Dak.
And if it was a competitive game, he probably goes for 300 yards. They stopped trying to throw the ball smartly.
Only 7 incompletions. That's ridiculous, dude.
It's over 80%. It's destroying, dude.
Nasty. Okay, player spotlight here. We're gonna shine a light on a player who had a good game, but maybe isn't getting as much love as they should be. Brendan, who's your player spotlight going on?
It just technically, I was gonna first thinking Dak, just because the national media still wants to just absolutely hate on him, even after this. Yeah. But it's got to be Osa. Odigizua is popping off, and dude, the breakout we've been waiting for from a 3-tech is here. He's going full force. I don't even know. He's someone who just gets there. I'm like, oh, who got the sack? I thought it was gonna be D-Law. Osa beat him there. It's just phenomenal up the middle. I can't believe the disruptive power that he has.
Yesterday might have been his coming out party. Mike, who you got?
My bold prediction for the year is that Osa Odigizua, who's not near the talent of the other guys, would play better than all 3 first-round draft DTs this year. Because it's year 3. You know how you're blocked. Your body's built up more. You're just used to the position more. Nobody thinks he's the talent of Jalen Carter or even Mozzie Smith or the homeboy that's like Aaron Donald, whose name I'm blanking on.
Kalijah Kancey.
Yes. He's not as talented as those, but he's built up a couple of years worth in the league. So that was my bold prediction. My guy's Tyler Biadasz. Second week in a row, just on hustle, saved us from a turnover because plain and simple, both of them were recovered by the defense. If he wasn't running up for no damn reason except for just to be a hustling player and to show himself hustling, got up there, got on both of them. And the only way we lose that game is if we lose a fumble like that. Sauce picks the ball off, and takes it back. So those were bigger than you think. And then he played next to Edoga and then an undrafted rookie free agent left guard. And I think you heard Quinn Williams' name twice, maybe, all game. And they lined him up over the left guard. They did not line him up over Zach Martin. So it was impressive. I got to give Tyler Biadasz his props.
Hey, Biadasz putting some good plays up there on film just in case he doesn't get brought back to Dallas, man. You got to love it.
It's a strong possibility with this year's draft of centers. It's a strong possibility that if he's not franchise tag, he's not back.
Yeah. I'm going to give my spotlights going to Mr. DeMarcus Lawrence. He defected a pass early that would have led to a big play and huge momentum shift. He had 4 total tackles, 1 being a tackle for loss. It's nice to see DeMarcus Lawrence still making plays, man.
Yeah, first play of the game, they shifted him over the opposite side. And they just ran like they called that play thinking Lawrence going to be on the other side. Ran it at him, 4-yard loss. Thanks, appreciate it. Don't run it to Marcus Lawrence to start the game. What are you thinking?
He does all the dirty work.
Yes.
He's been doing that for years, man. He gets no love by the fan base or by the the fans who. Casuals. There you go. Thank you, Mike. All right. I like this question here. At this moment, who are the most impressive teams? We're going to do one from the NFC, one from the AFC. And, of course, the Cowboys is an easy answer, so we won't add those. Brendan, give me your NFC most impressive team up to this point.
This hurts me to say it. I don't like saying it, but Green Bay. It has to be Green Bay. The biggest momentum shift. Well, you got to think. They went from 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and Jordan Love's not looking bad. Why can't they have something bad for once? I want them to. They don't deserve it. Yeah. But he's playing well. They're playing enough to win. Aaron Jones popped off. He got hurt, but they have a good running game. They're playing complimentary football. And I don't like it, but they're showing up. Sucks.
Yeah, he's playing within the system, man. He's not trying to do too much. A lot of younger quarterbacks, they don't do that too well. Mike, how about you? Who's your NFC team?
San Francisco. They're that team. They're that good. So easy. You guys know San Francisco. Easy answer. It's Dallas is the answer, but San Francisco's number 2, so they move into the top spot when you remove Dallas.
Me, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. They're 2-0. They beat the Green Bay Packers yesterday. They won the first game of the season with good defense, and then yesterday, Desmond Ridder I'd like to think maybe shut the haters up just for at least a week by winning a game where he had to throw. He used his legs. He did have a turnover, but he showed that he can kind of lead the offense when he needs to, lead the team.
Can the play callers use Kyle Pitts? What the did you pick him top 5
it's ridiculous, bro. Have no idea. I was really surprised that, Drake London, he had 6 for 95 or something, but it's been weird how he decides to run the offense, man. It doesn't make any sense by Arthur Smith.
It does make sense for one reason, and one reason there's 2 words for this. Bijan Robinson, which he's gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year without even having to blink.
He had a filthy run yesterday, dude.
He had one week 1 as well. He's dominant. Is he gonna have a long career? We don't know. I hope nothing but the best for the kid. But dude, running backs, if you're good early, you're winning that award without even thinking. Come on.
Fair. Okay, Mike, give us your AFC team most impressed by.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
If Tua is healthy, he's an MVP caliber quarterback. He's got weapons everywhere. The defense is pretty stacked with player names. I'm assuming they'll get better as the year goes on. So yeah. And then they won. What's the 2 teams they beat now? I'm blanking.
Chargers and Patriots. Patriots.
And both on the road. They ain't even played a home game yet. So I'm very impressed by Miami.
Man, Tua has made some throws into some tight windows. You're like, dude, he's on another level right now.
He is. He's killing.
Brendan, how about you? Who's your AFC team?
I had to come up with this one a little while ago because I'm not trying to pay much attention to the AFC besides the Chiefs because I just want to focus on Dallas. But I gotta go Baltimore.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
They first off, it's easy. They killed the Texans. They didn't care. They absolutely murdered CJ Stroud in his first game. I felt bad for him. But they even took it to the Bengals. Joe Burrow, he was rushed back from injury. He shouldn't be playing right now. You can tell he's off. But guess what? They came even when the Bengals came back, Baltimore didn't care. Lamar Jackson was able to put it on his back, and he threw some tight spirals to Zay Flowers and Odell. It was nuts. But yeah, I gotta go Baltimore.
Say what you will about Lamar Jackson, he wins regular season games.
Yeah. You mentioned the Bengals, Brendan. There's some talk out of Cincinnati that maybe, I don't know, it might be a lost season that Joe Burrow, you mentioned being rushed from injury. It looks like he got injured again yesterday.
It's so stupid. Even your star receiver is like, hey, I don't want you out there until you're healthy. I don't care what happens. If you come back mid-season or we're somehow clinging on, you come for a playoff push. Yeah. That's when I want you. You just paid the man the most money, besides, I guess, what Mahomes did for his new deal or whatever. But he's getting paid the most out of anybody. And you rush him? Are you kidding me? That's stupid. It's malpractice right there by the general manager.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mike, you took my team, my AFC team. It's the Miami Dolphins. It's pretty clear. I mean, they're just absolutely dominant. They're even looking better than the Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think a lot of people thought we're the 1 and 2 teams in the AFC. Maybe, of course, obviously the Bengals too. But, those were the teams that were getting talked a lot about this offseason.
Yep, I agree.
All right, Mike, here we are with your views from the sidelines. I'm curious, what is it about this new offensive line coach that's got the offensive line playing above their head, if you will?
I'm gonna flip it on you because it's not really the offensive line. While they're playing well, it's about the play calling, the execution. Right now, Dak is the quickest getting the ball out of his hands in the league. And a hard thing to sack a quarterback is when they're getting the ball out in 2 seconds. So that really helps the offensive line. And I think if you ask them, they want to run the ball a little bit better, that they're not happy with how they're running the ball, especially compared to last year right now. But it'll come. It'll keep up. You got to figure out how you want to use the guys, what Dowdle's the best at, and so that should get better. And don't forget, you don't have Tyler you don't have the big power man at the left guard next to Tyron. So yeah, it's about the play calling and the new offense. That's what's really helping this offensive line look even better than last year in the passing game.
That just goes to show how my untrained eye how bad it is, if you will, because I didn't think about how fast Dak is getting that release out, but it's nice to see him not having to. He's playing with confidence and he's playing fast, but I'd like to think that the O-line's contributing a little bit to that.
They are.
Okay, here we are with one word. Brendan, use one word to fill in this blank. Zach Martin's ankle injury is blank.
Cautious. It's cautious. Like that's what they're doing. All reports is he had no limp after the game. He was over there just cheering with his teammates. But when of course you're winning by 20 when there's like 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left, and you're an all-pro Hall of Fame tight end. No, not tight end, guard. Why the hell did I say tight end? You sit him. If he's like, hey, I'm feeling a little tight in his center, you're gone. You're out. You're not getting touched. No, it's just cautious. If we get here in camp and he's like, hey, he's not full like Friday, then there's some worry that needs to happen. They might even sit him against Arizona because it's Arizona. Like, what are we talking about here?
Mike, Zach Martin's ankle injury is blank.
Basically the same premise, but mine was nothing or a yawn emoji.
Oh,
that would be a good one. It's nothing. You limp out there in a game that's over. Why keep them out there? Like, even everybody was like, why are you playing? Go back.
Yeah.
Game's over. TJ Bass moved over to right guard. Asim Richards played left guard. It was fine. So, yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, for me, Zach Martin's ankle injury is overblown. After the game, it was like Jane Slater reported it was just precaution. No need to have him out there in a game like that. So, yeah, I think we're all on the same page there. Okay, Mike, true or false? If Osa Ozigiduwa continues this level of play, he will play himself out of Dallas.
False. I think even at this level of play, I think a lot of people look at our players and they see scheme fit. They see a fit around the players around them. Yeah. I don't think they look and see, Osa Odighizuwa's Aaron Donald or Quinn Williams or Jonathan Allen. I think they see he's undersized. He plays well in the scheme. He plays well with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence around him. And I think that as good as he is, I don't think it'll be something that he's going to break the bank money-wise.
Brendan, how about you? You agree?
It's always tough. I think he'll be out of Dallas' price range just because they don't like to spend it. I'm not thinking he's going to be the highest paid defensive tackle. That's no.
Yeah.
But honestly, I got a question for you, Mike. What'd you say Odighizuwa ends off the year 8 to 10 sacks? Are you telling me Dallas is somehow going to have enough money for that?
I think that it's possible. It's all in how they structure the Lamb and Dak deals. And I also want to see what they do. They got decisions on Biotish I love him. Everybody knows I am Mr. Jaron Curse. I love him. I think he's as big a leader as Micah Parsons, attitude and voice wise. I just don't see how you sign him. You have Wanya Thomas and Bell to play those spots. Yeah. And I think with this draft, I don't know if Tyler's back because this draft is full of centers. And I think they'll work TJ Bass at center some so he can play if they don't believe a rookie's ready. And so I think Osa has another year after this year. So that, we have another year to go, but I still, in 2 years, I think they'll be able to manage it, but we'll see. Maybe he takes another leap next season and then we're really hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget, you mentioned the contracts you have to sign, and then, of course, Micah, he's about to get paid, so got to think about that as well.
Paid.
I think
he'll probably get paid more than Dak, dude.
Dude, he's going to get so much money.
I think us saying he's going to get paid is an understatement. Like, I don't know what better way to say it, but I still feel like, no, that's not right. Like, that's he'll get money. Like, no, he's going to have the bank. He's not going to break the bank. He's just going to own it.
If he has 15 sacks in the next 2 years, I could see a team being like, well, we've got a good, strong defensive end. We've got complementary defensive ends. this guy, put this guy up the middle. He would be a nice compliment. I could see a team overpaying for him just to have that added element to their defensive line.
But would that be a fail, though, for Odighizuwa? Because if he has 15 sacks in the next 2 years, that's great. But he already has 3 this year. In 2 games, this man has 3. So we're talking about him slowing down immensely.
Well, you said You said if he had 8 to 10 this year. I'm just kind of doing some math there.
I know. I was talking low. I think if he keeps this up, of course, with the D line being moved around, I think he could easily have double digits this year.
Okay, if he has 51 sacks in the next 2 years, Mike, will Osa Odighizuwa outplay himself out of Dallas?
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Yes. I just got to bust your chops there, Brendan.
I know.
All in good fun, my friend. All right, I know top 5 usually is where Mike really dominates the episodes here, and I'm sure this list is really right up Mike's alley. But tonight's top 5 category is the best movies we've seen in 2023. To preface this here, these aren't movies that came out in 2023. It could be movies that came out in 2023 or movies that we saw for the first time in 2023. Brendan, you said pre-roll. You haven't seen too many movies this year.
I'm not. My list is going to be nice and short.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, to start off with you, give us your number 5 movie.
Well, this will be higher up on my list because I don't have a long list. But I gotta go John Wick. I love me some Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the parts are cheesy, and you're like, okay, we're going for comedy here. I'm like, we already saw a mass murder. What's going on here? But Keanu plays it so well. It was great. I'm sorry, movie's been out for a while. Spoilers. Hopefully, it's a great ending to the series. But if they bring it back, it's gonna be bad. But it's great. A lot of action. Some messed up kills. But it was all in all a pretty great movie.
Overall, okay, where would you rank that trilogy or that series of movies overall? What grade would you give it?
Oh, grade? B+ to A-.
Okay. Mike, you a big fan of the John Wick series?
Oh yeah, got them all. Donnie Yen was incredible in the 4th one. So yeah, it's it would B+. Sounds about right.
Okay. All right, Mike, number 5 on your list. Best movie you've seen in 2023.
I can't believe I'm putting one of these in here, but the Talk to Me movie, the movie where they shake their hand.
Oh,
and the
really?
Goes in there. Yeah, that was. I think it's a expectation to exceeding expectation thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think most people would be like, oh, yeah, 7 out of 10, cool movie. But me going in, I'm like, another dumb phantom horror movie I have to go see. And then I saw it and was like, oh, cool. That's an original take on that. I really like the originality. So, yeah, I snuck that in there. I snuck it even over John Wick, which I rated higher. But like I said, the expectation compared to what you got, I had to put it in my top 5.
Yeah, and you were not a fan of those types of movies. So for the fact that it made your top 5, that's surprising.
Yeah, it was a cool. It's the same as all the other ones, but they deliver it in a unique and fun package that makes it more like a college type movie, a college friends movie. And it's a cool way they did that. Last Night in Soho, another really cool original way to tell a horror movie. Like halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh, this is an Edgar Wright horror movie. Oh, okay, cool. It was good. I liked it. Every once in a while, one of those movies will get me with their originality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to appreciate original ideas. Number 5 for me, Mike, I'm sure you saw this movie, but Megan. About the robot.
Good one.
That's a good movie.
Remake of Child's Play, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But definitely not as cheesy, but still good.
Oh, yeah. Back then, 80s was, you had to have all
one-liners. So many one-liners.
Exactly.
But before we move on to number 4, Mike, can we get a score update?
Yeah, Saints look like they got it in hand. They're up 20-9 with 1:55 left. And the Panthers are 4th and 2. At halftime, Steelers are up 16-14 over the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. All right, number 4 on my list, Mike, I know you're going to appreciate this one. The Menu.
Oh, good. Damn, that should have made 5 on. That should have been higher on mine. I forgot about that one. Wait, did that came out this year, right? That wasn't last year?
I thought it was 2022, but I saw it for the first time this year. But
okay,
yeah,
it was.
So
Okay, good. Because that one definitely would have made it over like at least 2 of mine. I love that movie. Originality. I love originality. That movie was original.
And I thought I had an idea of what it was about, and then I heard people saying this movie is not anything I expected. I'm like, okay, well then I still have an idea of where this might go. Then I watched them like I had no idea what was going to happen.
It was beautiful,
so good, dude.
When Homeboy makes his bullshit, and they literally call it his bullshit.
Yeah, so freaking good, dude.
It's great.
Mike, what is number 4 on your list?
Number 4 for me is Dungeons and Dragons.
That looked really good, man.
Fantastic. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player of old school. My brother still plays it currently. I do not anymore, but I played it back in the day. They had a lot of good references, and it's just really funny. It was, well, that Chris Pine is excellent in it, and so I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a D&D person, it's a real fun, funny movie. I highly recommend that movie. It's
nice to hear that as somebody who did play D&D that they liked it. So they kind of, do they stay true to the game and everything?
Yeah, most D&D people love that movie.
Yeah, that's good.
Because they do a really good job of doing that. But even if you have no idea what D&D is, it's a fun movie and worth watching. Hugh Grant's brilliant too in it. It was really well written, really well done.
Yes, sir. All right, Brendan, number 1 on your list.
I'm more of a TV show guy. No movie besides my 2 movies have caught my. I'm gonna watch horror movies, of course, this time of year. But like right now, there's nothing. But for y'all's number 4, this is my number 1, baby. I gotta go Equalizer 3. That was phenomenal. The opening scene was some of the most badass things I've ever seen, and it completely slowed down. I'm like, no, don't ruin it, please. And then it kicked into high gear. I saw some of the most gruesome things I've ever seen in my entire life, and it was awesome. Dude, Denzel is he should win an Oscar this year, dude. It was so awesome.
So Brendan, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Brendan, was that you that came on the show and you were talking about how you just got finished watching Extraction 2? Okay, that was a different
My dog's losing its mind. I apologize for the door.
Okay.
Maybe he watched Extraction 2, but I did not.
I definitely did.
That's gonna bother me now. I can't remember who that guest was. I could have swore it was Brendan. Obviously not.
Yeah, that's not me.
All right, Mike, number 3 on your list.
Number 3 is Across the Spider-Verse. The sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. Very good Empire Strikes Back type middle movie in the trilogy. It's just a great movie, and it's probably the best cartoon I've seen since the original came out. So another one I'd highly recommend.
So, Brendan, I know you said you're more of a show guy. Do you have a show that you recently started watching this year that you would have added to the list had we made this movies and shows?
That's tough. Honestly, I watched all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, so I would put that. I loved every second of it. Those fight scenes were awesome.
That's cool.
His answer is Ahsoka because it is fucking awesome.
There you go.
But like I said last time, Mike, it was super slow. I was getting a little worried. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be that good. Episode 1 through 3 met. 4, it started getting pretty good. Then 5 blew me away because it brought my childhood back.
It was, dude. It's crazy.
No spoilers, please. No spoilers, please. Okay, number 3 on my list, The Boogeyman. Mike, I know you didn't want to see this movie. You said you read the book, but this is a good movie, even for being PG-13.
I have it on there, and I could download it to watch it. And I was like, I'll just wait till it comes out streaming or HBO. I'm gonna watch it, but I read the book, so I know about it.
You should watch it with Denny, bro.
He won't watch those.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh no. I barely got him to see The Haunting in Venice because it said haunting, and he thought it was a horror movie. I'm like, It's not a horror movie. I'm telling you, it's a detective murder mystery. There's no real ghosts or anything like that in it. Just watch the movie. And it finally took his mom to be like, this is not a horror movie. You trust me, he's not messing with you.
Mike, are you a fan of Agatha Christie?
The author?
Yeah.
I know the name, but I can't particularly put what exactly she's done. So I'm not sure.
She wrote that book, Haunting in Venice. Or she wrote the book that movie's based off
all the
of.
series. Oh yes, I've read them all. They are good. So I am a fan.
Yeah, I've been reading those with my wife. That's her favorite author. They're good books, man.
Very, very good books. I probably have them up behind me somewhere.
Yeah, I'm currently reading Murder in Mesotopia.
Good. I hope they keep making the movies. I think Kenneth Branagh does a great job with them. Gets good casts. They're fun to try to figure out. So it's good.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Incredible. Has anybody not seen it yet? Okay, then we won't go into it. You have to know Guardians. I'm not going to go into it, but it's fantastic. It centers around Rocket and him younger.
Man, yeah.
And the villain's great. The connection with them is great. It'll make you laugh. Made me cry 2 or 3 times. It's fantastic.
I love hearing that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Guardians. I just haven't had the time to watch it, man. I haven't taken the time to watch it, but that is definitely on my list of ones to watch ASAP. Okay, number 2 on my list, Mike, I think you'll appreciate this. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. It made me feel like maybe comedy movies are making their way back to old school humor, early 90s stuff, but Strays.
Good one. I tried to get that on my list because I love that movie. Will Forte plays like the worst villain ever in a movie, like of all time. So yeah, it's really funny. It's brilliant. I highly recommend it.
It's so funny, dude.
It is. I wish I could have snuck it in, but it was the expectations things. Like I rated that and John Wick both higher than Talk to Me, but Talk to Me's expectations made me, I think of it more.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay, number 1 on my list, Mike. Or no, we're at number 1 on your list. Excuse me, what's number 1 on your list?
Barbie. Barbie was Barbie's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Ah, dang, man.
It was shockingly great. Like Brennan, I'm serious. I went into it going like, yeah, I like Ryan Gosling, like I like Margot Robbie. I'll go see it. Like I'm sure it'll be all right. Like it's as 10 out of 10 movie as I have ever seen. I put it up there with my top movies. It is hilarious all the way through the movie. Like have either of you seen Barbie?
No, I wanted to see Barbie. My wife wouldn't see it with me.
How?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not going to be a child's movie. This is actually going to be a good movie. I promise you. I can tell just by the previews and everything. It's going to be a good movie. And she was like, I don't want to see it. I'm like,
it's 100% written fully by. It's 100% fully written for adults. It is an adult comedy that's packaged in a Barbie movie to make money from kids going to see it, and that worked.
Yeah,
but it is 100% adult jokes, adult movie. Go see. None of y'all saw it. All y'all making fun of me. I see Jordan. George didn't see the movie either. Watch. When you guys see the movie, it's going to be like when Notebook came out. And I was telling everybody, well, I read the book. Of course I went and saw it. It's phenomenal. And everybody was like, you saw Notebook. Oh, my God. And I was like, it's like one of the best movies ever. And
dude,
then
so good.
People were like, saw it. And then they were like, oh, my bad, dude. We were giving you shit about that. And it's really good. That's going to be Barbie. Wait till y'all see Barbie and then come on here and be like, that movie was hilarious. It's one of the dumbest funny movies of all time. It's so dumb in the best way possible. It's fantastic. We're going.
And the cast is excellent, dude.
Talking about it.
Dude, I'm just never gonna know what Mike's top 5 is for anything we do. When we talk about restaurants or whatever, he went super bougie, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how we're doing things here. And now we're going here, and he just throws Barbie at the end. I'm like, that's not where I thought we were going.
Barbie was good, dude. You know how good Barbie had to be over Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I'm not surprised that Super Mario didn't make your list either.
It should have been 5th. And then I said, well, if I do that, I'm looking at the Barbie movie, biggest movie of the year, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Across the Spider-Verse, both Marvel, and then Dungeons and Dragons, Super Mario. Like I basically would go chalk. So I threw Talk to Me in there for like the lower budget, type of movie. I threw that in, but Super Mario definitely deserved to be in there.
Yes, sir. I still haven't seen that one either, but
I've seen that.
Goodness for Prime.
I totally forgot that was this year. This year felt super fast and super long. I totally forgot Super Mario was this year.
Yeah.
So that's your number 1.
No, I still haven't seen Super Mario.
It does not beat Equalizer, but no, it beats John Wick though. I will say that.
All right. So now we have his top 3.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
I totally forgot about Mario.
Number 1 on my list. I had to add a horror one in there, but this one definitely deserved it. Scream 6.
Good one. Tried to get it in mind. That was enjoyable. Even though I figured it out pretty early, I still like the movie.
Still very good movie, man.
Very, very good. You didn't even see Scream 6, Brendan?
I've seen bits and pieces. They're the same movie.
They're not.
Six was the best one they've had since the original.
Yeah.
Six was pretty good.
The main problem I have with watching movies now is since I'm a kid, I've seen so many. I can predict everything. So it's like, oh, this happened. Like, well, yeah, you didn't see that clip like 20 minutes ago. We knew this was gonna happen, and so like my mind kind of ruins things.
Scream, I guessed it, and there was one death, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the person. And it went on and was still really good, even though at the end I was like, ha, I knew it. But I recommend if you've watched the other ones, it's worth watching.
Okay. For sure.
Let's end it. Well, look at it. We're going real long.
No worries. I enjoyed the discussion tonight, gentlemen. Before we get you guys out of here, Brendan, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Brendan_Smith26 if I don't have a stroke.
Is it all those? Is there like 4 underscores? It's Brendan.
Dude, what you don't know is I have multiple accounts. So I just plugged all of them. Bam. Gotcha. Big brain.
All right, Mike, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
Letter C, letter D, Barbie. Just changed it.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.